Morning everybody, MuzzleMike here. I am in the cage today, so that's why it's dark. I'm waiting on say something. Last night, Ferguson, over in Ferguson, if you missed it, they found favorable in the police officer that killed Michael Brown, and people didn't take it very well. Parts of Ferguson did burn. There was peaceful protesting and then what we call riots. And a lot of places were looted, broken into, vandalized, you know the word. Then the burning started. Then, of course, last time I seen it last night, over in LA, they were having peaceful protesting. I haven't yet heard of what happened and ended with that, because I've been kind of surfing the radio, not hearing anything on it. My local news is horrible about this, so I can't wait to get to the house and take a look at what it says online. But I hope Chicago fares out very well. I mean, no matter what, it was a powder keg waiting to blow. No matter what the verdict was going to be, it was going to happen. People were ready to do something, and it was going to happen, and it's the way it is. There was just no pleasing this, and most of the people that did the looting, the vandalizing, and the burning and everything were actually from out of town, which, I mean, I can kind of understand that, because people do not, and I hate to use this terminology, people do not shit in their back lawn. They do not shit in where they eat. It was their taxpayer dollars who paid for the police car that was destroyed. It was their businesses that got destroyed. It was their goods that got destroyed. Was this? It is what it is. It happened. We all knew it was going to happen. I mean, the only thing I ran through my head whenever I knew it was coming. I think we all knew it was coming. The only thing that ran through my head was that all of us in our group were being safe, and I hope we all were, out of harm's way. And I thought about all the people that were being hurt over this, and it was like, you know, even though there's nothing that I could do about it, it's horrible that, in my eyes, that it came down to this. And I asked my wife about what she thought about this. She said, well, do you know what? Loading people on the buses and bringing them in is from way back before the 50s and 60s. And, I mean, they don't even have to ask for it, really. They hear there's a problem. Cultures load people up on buses to protest, and they end up doing it like this. And I said, yes, but this is not the 50s and 60s. Even before, we have came a long ways, but yet we have not. I believe in our rights, but I do not believe that it was time for this yet. I mean, there's other things that could have been done. I mean, it could have resorted to other things, and come out in a lot better way. My thinking of this is, I'm going to put this out there. I don't normally talk political. But this is my thoughts on what the president, his little speech shortly after the Ferguson, they released on the Ferguson case, and my thoughts on it is, I mean, first place, I do not know who, I mean, I could probably find out by looking it up, but I don't know who wrote that speech, and I don't know if the president even looked it over or even cared to, or even, I mean, what the hell he was thinking, pardon my language. But, I mean, it just shows you that we basically put a black president into office that has his head up his fucking ass. I'm saying that it's understandable, the anger is understandable. No, I have a problem with that. He feels with he's feeling with the family of Michael Brown. You know, as far as the death, yes, but something's been pointed out, and I've been scanning the news. It's honest. I don't go FM because FM is all freaking BS anyway around here. I go AM, it gets me further out, gives me further scanning out, and I do agree with some of what I'm hearing. Even though AM's old school, it works very well. But it's, for crying out loud, like was pointed out, you know, I totally agree with this. I mean, everybody's seeing what the police officers' actions were. If the way the courts ruled, which I kind of tend to agree with, if Michael Brown would have followed the police orders or not, the courts acted the way he did a certain way, he'd still be alive. The way our system set up, in my eyes, I mean, is it always fair? No. The only white on black, black on white issue here in my eyes was a large amount of black people on, whatever you want to say, because he was a teenager, I believe, and on that attack on white cop, that white police sided with the police officer. There has been other instances in the United States right afterwards. I figured I'd go ahead and make this, and a week afterwards, that a black cop had a similar incident. I hope those guys all stay safe. And the white man ended up dying, far from being getting shot and dying. And sorry for there was no riots on that. I'm doing what I can. I might have been protesting. I don't know. I don't even think that was on that. I am not on the bike. I'm in the SUV. If I am, I apologize. Due to inclement weather. And I could have the only reason why it's becoming a racist issue. I got a long way. They want it to be a racist issue. It's cold outside. It's not. That's not coming from a white person either. I might look white, but I am actually a long week ahead, mainly Native American, and I'm really looking forward to being with my loved ones and my family for this upcoming Thanksgiving. It's MuzzleMike. If I don't piece this together, signing out. Have a great day, everybody. I don't think I'm too off base on this. The President of the United States, yes, like I said, he has his head up his ass. Like one of us in our community stated that, well, they're waiting so long yesterday. Well, they say, well, maybe they were waiting for the President to get his head out of his ass. And I commented back to him and said, you know what, we're all safe then, because this president will never get his head out of his ass. And I mean, he's a lame duck anyway, unless he pulls some major tricks coming up. I mean, he's out in less than a handful of years. So he's really showing his colors with that little speech he put up yesterday. Even though he was asking for peace, he was pointing out the wrong things in my eyes. And okay, we're still in the SUV this morning. Just figured I'd make a little bit of an add-on to the videos I was making while it was dark. It's not much later. It's actually only 10 minutes later. And I've been listening to the radio and I'm thinking. I got a couple of thoughts first place on this, and I figured I'll put it on video, and if it ever makes it on my channel, I'll make it on my channel. But the first thing comes to my mind, and I already commented on this on a video I made right before this. The president's speech stated that it was understandable, the anger against what the decision was. Yet again, I think the president had his head up his ass on that one, and my question is, Mr. President, Mr. Barack Obama, how is it understandable? How is it? I mean, a grand jury found out the cop was on the right side. If Michael Brown would have acted like a human being, like he should have, this all wouldn't have been. How is it understandable? Half of what these protesters is going by has been proven to the grand jury as not being true, as his hands was probably been up. I don't know. I wasn't there, but from this is what I'm understanding. I'm hearing. This president needs to get his head out of his arse and basically keep his mouth shut. If he doesn't, for being a person in his position, how in the heck can he go up and make a speech like that? Why didn't somebody stop him? Well, he may have been president, but this is utterly bullshit. Another thought on it is, if I was in the police officer's shoes, I would have shot him. I would have laid him out freaking flat. Somebody's coming down, pounding on me, I'm going to preserve my life. Somebody's going to act like an animal, I'm going to preserve my life. Was Michael Brown acting like an animal at the time? Well, the grand jury found out, yes, he was acting like an animal. He was not acting like a human being. Whenever the way I was raised, a person is a human being's a human being unless he's acting like an animal. That means he's threatening your life, your loved one's life, your property. It's time to put him down. I mean, if a rabid dog attacks, first thing it looks into is make sure he doesn't have rabies or any diseases. Then they put him down. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of happy I am in the SUV today. The wind's kind of high. You wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. This is MuzzleMike until I get further notice on radio. I am going by that and what I am finding out on my cell phone. This is basically a crapshoot. And from what I understand, I mean, the protesters got the signs, hands up, don't shoot me. That, from what I understand, has been disproven in a grand jury that that did not happen. From what it sounds like, and this is my opinion, this part's my opinion, it sounds like that Michael Brown was raging, and I mean he was looking for a fight, and the police officer gave it to him with a few rounds right into him, which took him out. I mean, should the police officer get a medal for it? No. Well, there's words that was always put in my mind whenever somebody, I mean, I don't know if I would use it as far as shooting somebody. Well, you could use it, I guess. But when it comes to fighting as growing up, I was always raised that I am a wish giver. If somebody's looking to get his ass kicked, wishing to get his ass kicked, who am I to keep that wish from them? And that's the way I was raised. But, I mean, this is a mess today. This is a mess. And it ain't going to be over for a very, 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 very long time. This is MuzzleMike in the SUV. Signing out.